The United States and China are the two largest economies of the world. As of 2021, both countries together shared 42% of the entire world's nominal GDP. The United States has historically had a larger GDP than China, although China has been rapidly closing the gap. According to the latest data available from the World Bank, in 2021, the United States had a nominal GDP of approximately $23.3 trillion, while China's nominal GDP was around $17.7 trillion. However, when measured by purchasing power parity, China has a higher GDP. China has experienced remarkable economic growth over the past few decades, consistently outpacing the growth rates of the United States. From 1980 until 2021, China experienced rapid economic growth, with its average annual GDP growth rate being 9%, whereas the United States averaged 3% during the same period. China's high growth rate has been fueled by various factors such as its population size, rapid urbanization, infrastructure development, and export-oriented manufacturing sector. However, China's GDP growth has been gradually slowing down in recent years as its economy matured. Meanwhile, the United States has experienced periods of both stronger and weaker growth rates. In 2021, the estimated population of the United States was around 331 million people. The United States is the third most populous country in the world, known for its diverse population with immigrants from various parts of the world. As of 2021, China had the largest population in the world, with an estimated population of around 1.41 billion people. China's population size is more than 4 times that of the United States. The country's large population is a result of both natural growth and historical factors. To address concerns about overpopulation and limited resources, China introduced in 1979 the one-child policy. Most urban couples were allowed to have only one child. The policy remained in effect for several decades, but was officially phased out in 2015. According to the estimation of the Chinese government, 400 million births were prevented by the policy. In recent years, however, China has recognized the demographic challenges posed by an aging population and a shrinking workforce. In response, the government has gradually relaxed the one-child policy, allowing couples to have 2 children since 2016. The United States has a more diversified economy than China, with a strong focus on services such as finance, healthcare, and technology. The services sector accounts for approximately 80% of the US economy. The US is also a major producer of goods such as automobiles, aircraft, and pharmaceuticals. China, on the other hand, has a larger manufacturing sector and is a major exporter of goods such as electronics and textiles. The manufacturing sector accounts for approximately 27% of China's GDP. Additionally, China has been investing heavily in technology and innovation, particularly in areas such as artificial intelligence and renewable energy. The two countries also have some of the world's largest companies that are leaders in various industries. In the US, companies such as Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Walmart are some of the largest in terms of revenue and have a strong presence globally. Similarly, Chinese companies like Tencent, Alibaba, China Mobile, and the Bank of China are also major players in their respective industries and have rapidly grown to become some of the world's largest corporations in terms of revenue. Furthermore, US companies have traditionally been associated with technological innovation and have largely driven the global tech revolution through products like the iPhone, Windows operating system, and Amazon Prime. On the other hand, Chinese companies are increasingly becoming major players in tech globally. For instance, Tencent, a Chinese internet giant, has become the world's largest gaming company, and Alibaba is now the world's largest online e-commerce platform. The United States has consistently had a trade deficit with China. It imports more goods from China than it exports to the country. According to data from the Bureau of Economic Analysis, total US goods and services imports from China in 2022 were $564 billion, while China imports from the United States reached $197 billion. The trade deficit has been a topic of debate, as it has contributed to the loss of manufacturing jobs in the US and has been a focal point in trade negotiations between the two countries. During his presidency, former President Donald Trump frequently expressed concern about the trade deficit between the United States and China. He believed that China's trade practices were unfair and detrimental to the American economy. He claimed that China was deliberately devaluing its currency, the yuan, to gain an unfair advantage in international trade. In an effort to reduce the trade deficit, Trump implemented a series of tariffs on Chinese goods. These tariffs led to a trade war between the two countries, with both sides imposing tariffs on each other's products. Between 2018 and 2019, the US imposed tariffs on approximately $350 billion worth of Chinese imports, while China responded with retaliatory tariffs on an additional $100 billion worth of imports. As opposed to Trump, Nobel Prize-winning economist Paul Krugman has expressed the view that trade deficits are primarily driven by macroeconomic factors, such as a country's savings and investment imbalances, exchange rates, and domestic economic policies, rather than unfair trade practices. Krugman argues that trade deficits can have economic benefits for the country experiencing them, allowing consumers to access a wider variety of goods at lower prices, providing opportunities for investment and capital inflows, and can be a sign of a strong domestic economy. The United States has been a major investor in China, attracted by its large market, lower production costs, and potential for growth. Many American multinational corporations like Apple, General Motors, Coca-Cola, and Boeing have established operations in China to access its market and take advantage of its manufacturing capabilities. In 2022, the US investments made in China were valued at $118 billion, while Chinese companies invested $38 billion into firms in the United States, according to the Bureau of Economic Analysis. This close economic relationship does not imply a political partnership, however. The US government has taken several measures to restrict Chinese investments in strategic sectors. These have included the creation of a Foreign Investment Review Board, FIRB, which examines foreign investments in key sectors and can recommend further restrictions. In addition, the US government has imposed restrictions on certain Chinese firms and groups, such as the ban on Huawei, which prohibits it from conducting business with US entities. It is possible that the US government could further increase or expand current restrictions on Chinese investments in strategic sectors, given the ongoing tensions between the two countries. In conclusion, while the US and China are both major economic players, they have different economic structures and face unique challenges. The US has a more diversified economy with a strong focus on services, while China has a larger manufacturing sector and is a major exporter of goods. Both countries play crucial roles in foreign investment, but have faced challenges in their trade relationship. Despite their differences, the economic interdependence between the US and China remains substantial. It is vital for both countries to bridge their divides and pursue opportunities for cooperation.